Hi, welcome back to my channel. Look, I don't want to hear it. I'm sick. I came down with Bieber fever. I made the same exact joke last time. I don't want to hear about it. And honestly, getting pretend worked up about this has made me a little dizzy. I don't have a fun, cute transition to go from that to the topic of this video, so I'm just gonna jump right in. Jacob Elordi is the most recent actor in a long tradition of actors who have been in YA novel movie adaptations to say something along the lines of being in that movie sucked, and I hated every second of it. If you don't know this man, that's fine. He's a young actor. He had his big break in 2018 with The Kissing Booth, a movie that includes the line,
"Don't end up grinding coochies with my brother, or I'll literally never talk to you again."
I like to imagine that line is about his character in Euphoria. So you just got like Cassie going up to someone being like, hey, don't rub coochies with Nate Jacobs, alright? Anyway, since then he's been in some things with easily better dialogue, like he was in Priscilla, which I thought was quite good, and he was in Euphoria. I say was, because let's be honest, that cast is stacked and only getting more popular and being in more things that they'll have to work their shooting schedule around. And beyond that, how many times can they keep delaying production before the show goes on a One Direction-esque hiatus? This show is allegedly about a group of high schoolers. You're telling me that Jacob Elordi, Zendaya, Hunter Schafer, Sydney Sweeney, Maude Apatow, that these people look like they're high school students? If I walked into a high school classroom and saw any of these people, it would make sense, because the only way I would walk into a high school classroom is if I was acting with a bunch of other people in their mid-20s. And with Saltburn coming out this year, it feels like Jacob has officially made his transition from the kind of working actor who stars in Netflix adaptations of Wattpad fanfiction to the kind of working actor who stars in prestige dramas, the sort of things that will get buzz around award season. He's not the first to do it, he won't be the last to do it, and he certainly had some things to say about the movie that jump-started his career. I didn't want to make those movies before I made those movies. Those movies are ridiculous. They're not universal. They're an escape. The rationale for accepting the Kissing Booth role makes sense, though. He needed a job. And as I point out to him, the move fits into a one for them, one for me ethos that can be fairly commonplace in Hollywood. That one's a trap as well, because it can become 15 for them, none to you. You have no original ideas and you're dead inside. So it's a fine dance. My one for them, I've done it. And I bet he sounded really cool when he said that, because he's not sick and his voice is all deep and Australian.
So sometimes if I need inspiration or something, sometimes going home to where I grew up is helpful for that.
When he was asked on a red carpet what he looks for in a job, Jacob said,
I mean, I just play what they give me, you know, I need a job.
And like, yeah, hey, me too. Do I wish I had his job? Hell yeah, I do. I wish I could hang out with one of the Banshees from Ed Sheeran. His bromance with Barry Keoghan is very cute. They're just so lovely together. But a job is still a job. But there are days when I don't want to do my job, and some days my job is being a YouTuber, which is a job I wanted for so long. I find it incredibly relieving that no matter what, most humans don't want to work. They just want to bang on a drum all day. Even for people who are paid well and have a good union and get all sorts of other perks, work is still labor. And that's tiring. And some people will say, hey, these people have all these perks. They have so much. Why are they making a fuss? But if the entertainment strikes from the past year have shown us anything, it's that the people at the top are desperate to squeeze as much value as they can out of these people while giving them as little as possible back in return. Getting back to Jacob's comments on the Kissing Booth, they reminded me of Robert Pattinson talking about the Twilight series. He did 5 of those movies in 5 years, and it is well known that he thinks they are garbage.
When I read it, it seemed like it was like it was a book that wasn't supposed to be published.
It was so long.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And we were shooting it forever.
If Edward was not a fictional character and you just met him in reality, you know, he's one of those guys who'd be like an axe murderer.
When he put the bare facts out, he tells I'd killed 40 or 50 people, and he's like, you really shouldn't, and I want to kill you so much. Every single day, every moment I'm with you, I desperately wanted to kill you. And she's like, I don't care, I love you. And it's like, well, there's definitely something wrong with her, and there's very obviously something wrong with me.
And those are all clips from a video that is more than a decade old called Robert Pattinson Hates Twilight.
And especially when she says, oh, it was based on a dream, and it's like, oh, I had this dream about this really sexy guy, and she just writes this book about it. It's like, this woman is mad.
Were you happy with your pay?
I don't know. Could have been better.
He is unwavering in his disdain for the movies that made him a superstar, and people love that. My respect for this man just increased by 100%. I love how he's making fun of the movie while doing an interview for the movie. Robert calling Stephanie crazy just made my day. Not only has he proven himself to be an amazing actor post-Twilight, but rarely do you find an actor who is so honest and sincere about their feelings on shitty movies that they were in. Mad respect for this guy. All respect for him is restored. Once a Hufflepuff, always a Hufflepuff. Well, I think that's the exact kind of thing that he would get upset at people for saying, but what do I know? I think part of the reason why Twilight has so much staying power is because Robert Pattinson has talked so much about how he hated being in Twilight. His reaction reflects people's reaction to the movie. Another part of it is that movie has so much silence where the characters are just emoting at each other.
How did you get in here?
The window?
Do you do that a lot?
Just the past couple of months. I like watching you sleep.
Which makes it the perfect movie to watch with friends and talk about and laugh about and have a good time with. But people generally like when an actor acknowledges that something that they were in was a flop. Ryan Reynolds would lose a third of his material if he couldn't shit on the Green Lantern. When a celebrity acknowledges that a project wasn't good, it feels like they're pulling back the curtain a little bit, going, hey, can you believe this shit that they shoveled out? They paid me to be in it, and even I think it was some ass. It's endearing and relatable, and relatability is the most valuable currency on the social internet, is what I've been told. I think it's actual currency, but sometimes actors are vague about not liking a previous project, like Alden Ehrenreich, while talking about Oppenheimer, had this to say.
It reminds me of like these old Hollywood movies where like everyone would be in them, you know? It's really great. It's really exciting to be a part of it. It's great when you don't have to fucking lie about this shit.
And there's no way to know for sure what project he's talking about, but it's nice to think that we live in a world where both actors who have played Han Solo hated playing Han Solo. And if someone at Disney gets upset, Alden has plausible deniability. He can say, no, I never said being in Solo was bad. What made you think that? But it was that. Because on the opposite side of that, you get actors and directors who really, really believe in a project that no one seems to like. And the more vocal they are about really liking this thing that no one else does, the more desperate and bad at their job they seem, because having good taste is important to being an artist. And yes, I'm talking about The Idol. Of course I'm talking about The Idol. I can't watch that show with The Weeknd in it, LOL. It's gonna ruin his music for me. Good, don't listen. I'm about to block you. I can't stand you talking about this mid-ass show anymore. Hurry up then, you're taking too long. Trying to meme the show to be good now, yikes. Nope, the people who hate it decided a long time ago. It's fine. If you hate it, don't watch it, and let the fans enjoy. Simple. Crying about your acting though? Bruh, if you don't shave that shit stain off your chin, LOL. He got into beef with the Oreos Twitter account over it. And I feel like we're at a point where the only reason you should interact with a brand account on Twitter is if you're complaining and you're trying to get some free shit. That's the only reason you should interact with brands at this point. Anything else is just free advertising for them. I don't know if you watched The Idol. Who am I kidding? Nobody fucking watched The Idol. But The Idol was not good. I'm gonna pretend Rachel Sennett wasn't in the show. Maybe this can be the thing that she shit talks to seem relatable. But as much as The Weeknd defended it, Sam Levinson, who shares all the same credits on the show as The Weeknd, except instead of actor, he's a director, I think is equally, if not more, to blame for the final product. I think the audience will slowly begin to see who the true villain of the piece is. It's you, Sam. You tried to make something boundary pushing, but it was really just an indulgence in all of your worst tendencies as a creator, sort of your very own The Big Day. Especially after a second season of Euphoria that was clearly less refined than the first, I fear he is not beating the Nepo baby allegations. But there's one other actor who recently said, "I just needed a job," and was not deemed relatable. Was not met with all the fun that the internet has shown all these other people. And that's Rachel Zegler. Here she is on a red carpet talking about Shazam 2.
What made you want to step into this world of DC heroes? I needed a job. I'm being so serious.
Same as Jacob Elordi. Same as every other actor. If there are moral reasons not to take a job, I get it. But if someone needs a check, let them be in something bad. Let them be in something god-awful. As good as West Side Story 2021 is, and it's very fucking good, all of those actors need to be in more projects because they have bills to pay. But Shazam 2 is not the only movie Rachel has had some issues with.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
I didn't think I'd be bringing up Snow White in multiple videos towards the end of the year here. I didn't think I'd be bringing it up at all. I'm not here to defend Disney remakes. They're an obvious cash grab for a studio that's interested in making money by gobbling up everything they can so that every new piece of media that exists falls somewhere under the already massive Disney umbrella. To quote their former CEO, "We have no obligation to make art. We have no obligation to make history. We have no obligation to make a statement. But to make money, it is often important to make history, to make art, or to make some significant statement. We must always make entertaining movies, and if we make entertaining movies, at times we will reliably make history, art, a statement, or all three." This is not a recent quote, but it's hard to look at the slate of movies Disney had for 2023 and not think these words are still ringing true. A ton of their movies from this year were remakes of their old movies, or new installments in the various franchises and IPs that Disney has already gobbled up. Thanksgiving is coming up. That's why gobbling is on my mind. Getting back to Rachel, she has not said she hated working on this new Snow White. In fact, in every interview, she seems really excited about it.
When you get to wear Sandy Powell, first of all, insane, and then you get to be lit by Mandy Walker, and Nadia Stacey designed your hair and makeup, it's like the most incredible thing in the world. And then all of a sudden you open your eyes and you watch the playback, which I never do. And I saw myself on screen and I just wanted to throw up. I was so happy about it. And it was the most incredible experience. And the fan reaction was insane.
It's just that also she has talked about how the original Snow White is not her thing, and how the remake aims to modernize some parts of this 80-year-old movie.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937.
But she gets no fanfare. There will be no video with 3.5 million views compiling all these funny moments for us all to laugh with. Instead, it is uninterrupted hatred towards someone who is just doing her job. This is Rachel Zegler. She's an actress and singer. She looks like an alien. That's not meant as a dig. All the hottest women in the world right now look like aliens. Anya Taylor-Joy has the face of a being from 5,000 years in the future. Oh, okay. So these are all nice things to say. These are all nice, normal things to say about somebody. As I mentioned, if they wanted a Latina Snow White, Selena Gomez would have been a better choice. Selena is likable and probably wouldn't have criticized Snow White like Rachel Zegler. She's so insufferable. Who'd want to spend money on this? It's giving Brie Larson vibes. Now, this one could go one of two ways. Either it's saying, she's so like Brie Larson, I hate her. I don't like when women who are in movies talk about how patriarchy is a thing that exists. Or it's saying, wow, she's so similar to Brie Larson in that she's being unfairly harassed by people online. I think it's probably the first one, but because it says vibes as its own sentence, I think it could be the second one. Okay, this one takes a little bit of a walk, but hear me out. If Noah Schnapp isn't fired, you can kiss your season goodbye. Handing out stickers saying Zionism is sexy? Yes, genocide is so sexy, Noah. He has now hit a lower point than Rachel Zegler. Do better. In what world are the things that Rachel has said comparable to the ethnic cleansing happening right now in Gaza? Like, the energy at the top is good, free Palestine, but what does she have to do with any of this? And how did 57 people say, no, yeah, that's right, that's so true? How is Disney seriously tolerating this behavior? It's beyond my imagination they would cast someone so mind-numbingly arrogant that they don't even appreciate being casted as Disney princess, being part of such huge beloved tale. I hope Disney fixes this by replacing her, or I am sure 2024 is bankruptcy year for them. You know, I would bet literally every dollar that I have that Disney will not go bankrupt in 2024. If you don't think Starfield is woke after watching this, then you must believe Rachel Zegler is playing the real Snow White and Miles Morales is Spider-Man. But like, they are. Rachel Zegler is playing the real Snow White. I mean, as real as a fictional character can be. It's the Disney version. That's when you ask people about Snow White, they imagine her as a Disney character. And Miles Morales is Spider-Man. There are multiple movies about how he is Spider-Man. There is, in fact, a subtle difference between Jacob Elordi, Robert Pattinson, Ryan Reynolds, Alden Ehrenreich, and Rachel Zegler. See if you can spot it. I think part of it, I'm whispering so they don't catch me, they don't throw me in jail. I think part of it is Rachel is transgressing against a Disney movie, and people will ride or die for that company. I fear the day when I am in the line of fire of Disney adults, and I'm a guy who likes musicals and Star Wars and Marvel and Lorcana. That's a layer on the Disney adult iceberg for sure. So that's part of it. And then there's the thing that I was alluding to earlier. Rachel is a woman, specifically a young woman, and people feel way too comfortable being way too mean to young women online. It's not just online, it's everywhere. If you go back a decade and a half, you can see this with Britney Spears in the tabloids, but there's just a base level of harassment that comes with being a woman who is online. The other difference is with Snow White, she hasn't said bad things about it. She's only said positive things about the movie that she's in. She has opinions about other movies, which I think is valuable in an actor, in someone who's making films. I think it's good to have opinions about those things. But like, she seems positive about the thing that she's working on. Her opinion about the 80-year-old Snow White movie doesn't change that movie. It's still there. It's not Song of the South. Disney's not going to vault that one. And I wish more actors would say how they felt about things. Because it's nice, it's fun to be like, hey, that movie I was in was not that great. It feels like a fun sigh of relief where everyone's like, oh, okay. They're not all totally caught up in their own bullshit world. Shazam 2 hinges on you being sad if Philadelphia explodes into a paste. If it explodes into like a Lunchables pizza, you know, tomato sauce. If it explodes into that kind of paste, that's why that movie did bad. And I think it's okay if everyone's like, hey, Shazam 2, not the best movie. I think that should be an okay opinion to express. 2024, we're bringing being a hater back. Especially if it's for some shit that you did. Self-hatred, but in a fun way. Remember getting relatable with Instagram threads? That video sucks. Do not watch it. It's bad. The fact that it is monetized should be criminal, but it's not. And that's beautiful. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, and you wouldn't mind leaving a like or subscribing, I'd really appreciate that. I have 3 more videos planned for this year. Read the Sign. I'm probably not going to do a Christmas video this year, but I have a good idea for one for next year. I just don't have time. I don't have time to do the idea that I want to do. It takes like months. I'm going to have to start filming that thing in like June. 3 more videos for this year to close out 2023 with a fun one. With Read the Sign, a fun one. Hope everyone gets some Sprite Cranberry. Again, thank you very much for watching this video. It does mean a lot to me. It means so much that I touched my heart, because you touched mine. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Oh, that's what I gotta tweet. Dominic Toretto's full name was Dominic. Dom Toretto's full name is Dominic Fike Toretto. Harry, tweet this out, and then see if it does well. That's basically every tweet. Tweet this out and then see if it does well. Anyway,